Hello and welcome to the Easily Excitable podcast. My name is Topham and with me this week is Spencer. Hey man, how's it going?
No, I'm not Spencer. I'm not Spencer.
What?
I'm not who you're looking for. I don't know who I am, but I'm not that
guy. Oh dear.
How's it going?
Yeah, things are going okay. There's some frustrating things, but there's some good things. I have been spending my afternoon. Oh, I will be spending my afternoon working on a new song. I've been trying to learn some music so that I can play it while I was at work. I was reading sheet music and I was like, oh yes, I know how to play this. So I've been trying to play piano again. So what I'm trying to do is the new round of Game of Bands has started. We've got 2 weeks to write a song based on video games.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so from there, what I've done was shared about 5 ideas with my teammates, and we've tried to put together an idea of what we could do. So we could have started by trying to write another song from a soundtrack, or we could take elements from a soundtrack, like a main character's theme, and incorporate that into a song and make it an ode to a video game. Then we were trying to also come up with an idea, say, from the Fallout universe, where that's got lots of 40s and 50s music, and try and emulate something that would go along and fit in that soundtrack there. What we ended up going with was the second idea, the idea where we take a main character's theme and write an ode to a video game. We've chosen the Skyrim theme. We'll see how long that goes. But I've been working on playing the piano part of it. And then I'm trying to put it onto guitar. And then I don't want to just play that the whole time. I want to try and have some variation. And so what I'm trying to do is incorporate other instruments in as well, because it's done on strings. I don't really have a full equipment to really record strings. The only stringed equipment I have that's not a guitar is a violin, and I'm rather rusty at playing that. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to solve that. It's also in 6/8, which is a time signature I'm not particularly familiar with, but I seem like I should be able to get the hang of it in the amount of time I've got.
Do you have GarageBand? Yes,
I do.
There's actually some pretty decent string sounds in GarageBand you might be able to avail of.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a look around, because I just need to tinker and tweak it until I get it sounding how I want it to sound. Because I tried just recording it for a jazz style piece, with some funky pianos and then some no, I was going for brass sounds for that, to try and get that going, and get some nice brass sounds going along, and it sounded a bit flat and lifeless. But that's also part of my music writing, just trying to just score it rather than giving it any flourishes or any fancy parts going onto it.
Yeah, but you got to do one before you can do the other, right?
True, yes. So I've got to at least get the rhythm of it out. So I thought, why don't I try on something that I know is probably going to work in variations from the Skyrim theme, work on that, rather than try and do something completely new and learn to work with a whole bunch of new instruments, which is why I kind of decided for the group on what path we were going down. Although it was rather it was rather diplomatic. I wasn't this is what we're going to do. It's more oh, we're running out of time. What should we do? I think this is a good idea, to have both of the teammates agree with me, because we were all on roughly the same page anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, no one's hitting the panic button yet.
No, because we've still got a week and a bit to go anyway.
Okay.
And yeah, it's taken about a week it's taken 4 days to get an idea nailed down as to where we're going to start. So now I can start putting music to microphone. There we go. I was going to say pen to paper, and I was I've got to figure out a way to make it musical.
You got it.
So yeah. So hopefully that's going to be going well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting it actually going and really coming up with something interesting, unique. And I want to see what the lyricist is going to do as well. because
Right.
he wants to add like dragon chants and things like that in it from Skyrim. I'm just like, oh, that's brilliant. Then we can just have drums and rah, and yes, all the fun dragon words that are there.
The musical equivalent of impending doom.
Yes, exactly. So there's a lot of elements to do with that game that I'm very much a fan of trying to put into a musical context. So yes, that all seems like a lot of fun for me. How about you?
Is
What
there
have
any
you been
set time
working
limit on that?
Oh, go ahead. What, for that song to be completed?
Yeah. No. Like, is there any
Uh,
set length of, like, maximum length of time that song can be?
No, there is not. I get to
Okay.
make it as long or short as I like. So yeah, the last round that we did, we kind of got caught out in that the vocalist didn't realize that the song was due in the day before he asked when he should start recording vocals and where the rest of the music was. I was like, well, we haven't heard from you for 6 days, despite our constant pleas. So we have a verse, a chorus, a verse, and a second chorus. And so he was like, okay, I'll try and get them recorded throughout the week. And it's like, it was due yesterday, so you can either record it now with what we've got, or we'll just not submit this round.
Wow.
And so we managed to get it. We got a few votes as well, which I'm pretty proud of.
Cool.
But I'd recorded the music a semitone too high in the chorus because I got like one of what the other guy was like, oh yeah, these are the chords you need to use, sent me like sheet music and I read it and it was fine, like it was to what he said because he provided an audio example of it as well, and he was like, this doesn't all fit. And he just transcribed it a semitone too high. And so we were like, in the last hours of trying to submit it, we were all just frantically trying to fix all the problems.
Okay, so that's when the panic button was hit.
That's when the panic button in the last round was hit, yeah. So, yeah, luckily, well, I say luckily, right? Like right now, I have no idea if we're going to be doing that again, but yeah. So I've had a round go bad, like right at the last minute, and so yeah, that was a bit of a challenge. That was the Wall of Sound round, actually, because I talked about that with you last time. Yeah, I've taken all of the audio tracks, and I've got all of those. I'm going to redo all the music-y parts as well, and hopefully it'll all fit. I'm not sure if the vocals were fitted to what I provided or to the chords that it should have been. So it might be that the vocals are off. And so if I want to try and fix it and like mix it myself. But that's a slow process because I'm trying to do that as well as do a million other things because that's the story of my life. Yeah. So yeah, that song is out. I'm not particularly happy with it, but you know, it got completed. So yes, that happened. But I think it could be better, and you know, it's nice to have a team to work with as long as the team is cooperative and understand the deadlines.
Yeah, as long as everyone's on the same page, you know.
Yeah.
Same page is required.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, how about you? What have you been working on? I see that there has been some vocals recorded for the Achievement Hunter. I was going to say rap battle, but it's the throwdown now.
It's throwdown, yeah. Jeremy managed to get. I had an email from him. I think it was Saturday evening, Sunday morning, something like that. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. He basically said, so basically, here's what's going on. I am yanking everybody into the studio on Monday. I got Chris lined up. I've got the booth lined up. Everybody's lined up. We're going in. We're blasting it down. So expect vocals to be sent to you early to mid next week. And I said, cool, bring it on.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, then images and videos started filtering out from his Instagram and his Twitter. I'm like, oh, yeah, yes. Here you go. And sure enough, late Tuesday evening, I was informed that there were a bunch of vocals in my Dropbox to have fun.
Awesome.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I saw.
Wednesday morning I downloaded those and started fitting them in and working on them in between everything else that I have going on here at the office. And it's I'm happy to report that after a couple of rounds of tweaking the mix and whatnot, I mastered it very first thing this morning. I actually came in early, a little bit early to the office just so I could do it without interfering with my regular day job stuff because that's been really thick lately too. So yeah, that's all mastered. That's been uploaded to them, and we're both really happy with it. I think the guys are happy with how they performed. I'm getting that impression anyway. I'm getting the impression that they like how the final product sounds. So yeah, I'm incredibly encouraged with how it all turned out, and hopefully everybody else will like it too.
Awesome.
I really do.
Yeah, I
It was a
I saw
very
the
involved
videos that you
process.
posted on Twitter. Yeah, I saw the videos you posted on Twitter, and I'm just like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. And then you tweeted something, and it got retweeted, and I saw it got like hundreds of likes, and I was like, oh, that's a cool thing.
Yeah. I posted a tweet because I downloaded it to my phone. I just listened to it through Dropbox on my phone Monday night, and as I was getting ready to go to bed, I was like, "Boz, you did good." I posted on Twitter, "Boz, you did a good job, cool." And that was it. Signed out of Twitter, turned off my phone. I woke up the next morning. I thought the thing was gonna freak out. It was just, it was just one big for about for about 5 seconds. I was like, "What the is going on?" And then I see what happened, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, there you go." And yeah, that went over really well. And yeah, and according as I started mixing the vocal tracks into the music bed that I've had here for a while now. Well, no, not that long. I had to redo a bunch of Jeremy's verse there about a week and a half ago. Just we had let it sit for a week or so, and we went back to listening to it, and both of us were like, "This could be better." I'm like, "Glad you think so, because I do too." So yeah, I redid a bit of that, and then the vocals got mixed in, and I'm telling you, for a bunch of guys who don't typically rap, wow, they did a great job. Gavin and Michael in particular, they seem to have they seem to be very, very comfortable with it. Like, I mean, Jeremy aside, because Jeremy's good for that stuff anyway. But I was pleasantly surprised with the approach and the attack and the flow that that Gavin and Michael had. They did a really, really good job in particular. I mean, everybody did a really good job, but theirs seemed to fit so well with what the music was going at. And
Awesome.
I actually get mental images when their parts are on right now. So
Nice.
that's always a good thing. I for Gavin's, I have the picture of the Leonardo DiCaprio, Leo DiCaprio swagger that he's got going on from, I can't remember what movie it is, but he's got the swagger and could be anything superimposed in the background. He's just swaggering through it. That's how I picture Gavin for his verse. He's just swaggering through it. It's hilarious.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. That's yeah, like I'm really looking forward to hearing that, like, once it's done. And yeah, and seeing the video that I assume there's going to be a video and animation that goes along with it.
There's actually going to be there's going to be a video. It's actually going to be live action.
Oh, nice.
From what I was told, it's going to be live action. Either way, it's going to be a while before there's a video out because obviously they have to go through concept. I think concepts may have been talked about already, but I mean they've got to go through and they got to do the whole workflow thing and just go through it all and get it all figured out. So it's going to take a while.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, at least we know it's in good hands.
It's in good hands. It's in their hands now. It's out of the bad hands. It's out of mine. And it's in theirs. The only thing that's left in my hands is I've been sort of surreptitiously filming a bunch of the process with the making of the music aspect of it, and
Cool.
much to my own chagrin, filming myself. I don't like to film myself, but I filmed it myself this time, and I'm going to cobble the footage together and maybe do a voiceover here and there kind of thing, or like a little bit of narration and stuff like that. And I'm hoping to submit it to the Let's Play community channel.
Awesome.
So we'll have that, but obviously that won't happen until after the official release of the official song, because obviously you don't want to give anything away. So
No.
yeah, the footage from what I've seen so far looks pretty good. I don't have any footage of the guys doing the vocals though, because they were direct to Instagram. So there's nothing on Jeremy's phone, because I asked him if he had those clips, if he could send it to me. He was like, oh crap. So I might just like take a screen grab of the guys just singing and just use those still images while I narrate over, and they'd only be there for like a second anyway. So, but it'd be a nice touch.
No.
But I got to get Jeremy's permission to do that too, obviously, because that's his photos or videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, fair enough. So what else has been going on in your world? I see that you were promoting. You were running this streaming thing for. I'm trying to use the words that I don't have right now. Could you explain? I know you know what I'm talking about. So
yeah, I work at for Memorial University here in Newfoundland, and specifically the Research Center for the Study of Music, Media, and Place. And a few times a year throughout the term, we have guest lecturers. Either they're in-house, like Dr. Ian Sutherland, the Dean of the School of Music, he was 3 weeks ago, February 8th is when his lecture was. And a couple nights ago, we had Dr. Stephen Friedson, and his lecture was on the music box, songs of torture in a time of futility, or songs of futility in a time of torture, or something like that. Basically, it was talking about non-contact torture and how music is used in non-contact torture. And it was absolutely jaw-dropping. Very dark material. But the lecture that he gave, we live streamed it. We have the capability of live streaming things like that now. And we have 2 cameras, so we can do some interesting shots. Not there's not a whole pile we can do with that, but we have full audio examples, microphones, the whole 9 yards, and basically it all comes into our Office MacBook Pro, and I use software called Wirecast, and it's a video switcher, an audio switcher, any of that stuff. And depending on how much I get to do of pre-production, I get to do in advance, I can have rolling credits, opening credits, all this stuff. So that was awesome. A very it's a really, really intense program. It's not, they don't always tell you everything that you need to have done. So there's been a few missteps with some of the earlier lectures that we've tried to live stream. And, but this one, a couple nights ago, this Wednesday passed on March 1st. This one went flawlessly for the first time. So when I got home and my wife looked at me and said, "Oh, wow, you're smiling. Everything must have worked this time." I was like, yes, everything worked this time. It looked really good. I'm really happy. Ah! And then, the adrenaline of everything that evening, I was till well after midnight before I could really relax enough to go to sleep. But it's very interesting. And it's actually, if there's no issues with the content of the lecture itself, because there are a few sound samples in it that Dr. Friedson used. If there's no issues with fair use or anything like that, we're going to be uploading that video to our Research Center's channel, YouTube channel. So that'll be available for everybody to watch and listen to probably in a couple weeks' time. By the time I get back to it, I mean, hopefully now that's if everything goes according to plan. And because I did some very preliminary editing on it this morning, and it looks really good. So it's just a matter of getting all the clearances and stuff like that.
Oh, cool! It sounds it certainly sounds interesting, but it's also I remember talking to you about it before. It's like your first foray into like the streaming kind of situation, and so
Yeah.
to hear things are going well is great and encouraging for other people. Whereas I've hosted a stream recently. I was dragged into like a charity stream, not a charity stream, a self-care stream that Audrey was running,
Right.
and it was like 11:30 at night, and I was like, I'm just about to go to bed, and then the person that was on, like one of her housemates, accidentally cut their finger open and needed to go to the hospital for stitches, and so I was like, I can do it, kind of. So
That kind
I
of
got
takes on a
dragged
whole
in.
level of self-care.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, you cut your finger open. They were like, oh, he'll be fine. He'll just patch it up. Like, take him to the hospital. So then I was like,
Jeez.
okay, I'm just going to sit and I'm going to attach my iPad to my computer, and then I can screen cap from that and do some drawing and colouring and just sit and chill out for like 2.5 hours while I'm usually going to sleep at that time.
Worth it though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got to practice, and by the end of the stream, I was overloading my computer so much that I was 12 minutes behind the actual stream.
Oh wow!
Like,
Seriously, there was that much lag.
The stream was 12 minutes behind. Yeah, my upload speed is good. I believe it was a hardware issue with my computer because it is not built to handle that. So yeah,
Oh, yeah,
and like
yeah.
I just saw it go further and further away from me. So I
Wow.
wrapped up at like 1:45 in the morning, and like I didn't have to do anything else. I just sat around, and it just like, and then it showed nearly the right time. I was like, that's good enough for me, yay! And then yeah. So yeah, I had a blast of a time just sitting down and coloring on a stream, and that was great.
So it's fairly easy to plug in like an iPad or something like that and do work like that, and to just do screen capture and.
Yeah, so if you use the what's the application called? QuickTime Player.
OBS?
You can use
QuickTime Player, yes.
You can use QuickTime to capture from a screen, and then if you've got audio capture set up, you can run it through OBS to capture the screen that's coming in. So you can just choose the source to be from the QuickTime Player, which is just the screen of
course.
the thing. And then, yeah, if you've got a way to capture the audio, then just run it through and capture it. And yeah, I was doing it like that, and it was all coming through my headphones. And
My God, that sounds so simple.
Yeah, it was way simpler than I thought, and I was overcomplicating it for like the first bit. I was like, I'm trying to get this sorted, and it was just taking forever. And I was like, oh, why don't I just start from scratch and try and do it properly? And it seemed to work well enough. And I was like, oh, this is fine. And then yeah, it all came together, and I was like, oh, I can put a creative stream together. Awesome. The problem I'm having now is I'm like, I want to kind of do some recording music and do that in a streaming kind of setting, but I can't use my audio interface to send the audio out. So that's where I'm tripping up at the moment, is that the audio output from the audio interface, I can't grab that from anywhere. So I need to figure out a different way to route it through everything.
Sorry.
Yeah, to get the sound that I want. But I think I can figure it out, but you know, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's something that I've been thinking about doing, but at the moment I'm still too busy to even consider it. But it's a problem. It's a problem I'd like to try and overcome, because I've had the idea. Why don't I try and see if I put it into practice? If I can put it into practice without even like really exploiting the fact that I can do it. So just learning to do things. Fun times.
Absolutely.
But yeah. So
nothing wrong with learning new things. I'm all about it.
Not at all. But when I'm supposed to be working on like a certificate in quality management, and I'm just neglecting it at the moment. And
I say you were at that last time we were talking too, weren't we?
Yeah, it's like it's going to take me a year or so to do. I should have it finished by January next year.
Okay.
But I'm neglecting it too much, and I might fall behind. And at the moment, it's a case of me I need to be like, yeah, I need to take 2 days a week at work to sit and do it. And it's the busy season right now because everyone wants their fertilizers in the Northern Hemisphere because it's just about to go into growing season. So we need to manufacture everything right now. So I've got a lot of samples incoming, and I decided it was okay to give my coworker a week and a bit off, and that was a mistake. But at the same time, she's moving into a new house, so she can't have time off.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a case of no, you can't have the time off. It was more a case of you kind of do need to have the time off. Ugh.
Yeah, take the time off, deal with what you got to deal with, then come back. But do double hard when you get back.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully I'll be getting back into the routine of actually studying properly. I've given it a concerted effort to actually start doing things. So yeah. Yeah. Also coming up soon is my Taekwondo black belt assessment for like a step towards my second degree, not to actually getting my second degree black belt. It's just an assessment. It's the second of the assessments, and then I'll have the grading in September. So I'm also, I don't want to say studying, but practicing and learning the theory for that as well. So, it's all learning for me. Yippee.
Yeah, but there is a practical element to it too, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, like
yeah,
so
that gets you moving.
Just trying to make sure. Yeah, totally. So yeah, that's keeping me busy as well. I'm just trying to make sure I'm in good enough shape, despite me eating all of the pancakes over the last week, which was a bad idea.
Oh, cry me a river. I'm still 205 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't even been able to get into the pool because I've been having shoulder issues all winter. And actually, last week I had my left knee just didn't want to work. No reason. Just see ya. I'm on vacation. But I mean, that's better now, but my right shoulder's still not happy with me. But yeah, so I mean, I've been trying to get back into the pool now for about 4 months, and it's just been I just haven't been able to do it. It's just the shoulder's just non-cooperative. So but that's okay. I've been shoveling lots of snow.
Yay, snow!
Actually, we've lost about 2 feet of snow in the past week here, so I'm not complaining about that. But the fear that I have right now is that it'll turn around and we'll get all of it back in one shot. Because this is Newfoundland after all. We got some crazy weather.
Okay. Well, Spencer, where can we find you across the internet?
You can find me at Twitter, at Spencer NL. Sorry, jeez. Word, Spencer. At Spencer in NL, SPENCERINNL. I'm also Grenew on the Rooster Teeth site. And I am on SoundCloud, which I actually linked to from my Twitter profile. So that's probably the easiest way to find it. Yeah. And I am on YouTube as Grenew, but it's mostly, there's not a whole pile of videos on there, but I am there doing stuff,
Stuff. Yeah.
Stuff. Mostly watching my kid do stuff.
Cool. I can be found across the internet at Destroy Topham or at Etherfar. Etherfar's on Instagram and SoundCloud and Twitter, and Destroy Topham's on Twitter and probably SoundCloud. I don't know if I've still got a SoundCloud account under that name, but that's where I was posting experimental things, so I'm sure it's still there. Yeah. But yeah. Thank you very much, Spencer, for being my guest this week.
No problem.
And thank you, everyone, for listening. Have an exciting week. You're all my favorites. Goodbye.
Bye.